got a big Summer Game Fest update. They namely announced the companies that will be attending. Ubisoft is not on this list. I said it before, but don't expect anything from them in the coming weeks. But what we are seeing here are a lot of like interesting companies that they don't really have a lot. So them being here means likely the thing that we're expecting. So in this video, I want to run down and go through all these like most interesting companies, tell you what I think will be happening. So let's get into it. I want to start by quickly naming some names here, what it's likely going to be, and then go a bit more in depth on some others. Like 2K, Mafia, Borderlands makes a lot of sense. Amazon Games, we will touch on that in a moment. Capcom is interesting. A lot of people want Resident Evil 9, but it could also be a Street Fighter or Monster Hunter update. So you gotta kind of keep that in mind, because we also have CD Projekt, and you're like, Witcher 4, it's time. But they basically said, I see a bit of creative speculation in the comment sections. Please remember that next week we are launching Cyberpunk 2077 Ultimate Edition on Nintendo Switch 2. Like, even if you have a tiny, like, thing to show here, you will be on this list. So, some companies, it's not gonna be as crazy as we want. IO, I think, is another interesting one. We'll touch on that as well. Let's see. MetaQuest, there are rumors about a Deadpool VR game that could be showing up. NeoWiz, of course, means Lies of P, the DLC. Pearl Abyss, that's exciting. Yeah, we will likely see Crimson Desert. I mean, they could promote Black Desert, but no, it's likely going to be this game. And feels like it's time for a release date. Last time they were more at Gamescom. But yeah, with it now being closer to launch, you would hope that they show at least a new trailer and hopefully tell us if it's going to be November, December, if it's still launching this year, if it is delayed, maybe we'll hear that too. But let's hope for 2025. I mean, now that GTA 6 is of course delayed, they can like talk about their release strategy. We'll of course keep you up to date on everything Crimson Desert. It's like one of my most anticipated games for sure. We have PlayStation here too. Now, last year they had the Lego Horizon game at Jeff Keighley's show. And they had Astrobot playable at Summer Game Fest as well. This is likely going to be Death Stranding 2 in this case. Like Hideo Kojima will appear live at Summer Game Fest. So that already could be... What the heck happened with this website? That could already be PlayStation. I, of course, hope there's more, but there's also a State of Play seemingly coming in June, so they might save a lot of good stuff for that. Ghost of Yotei, I think, is another, maybe, a candidate for the Summer Game Fest. Square Enix, yeah, you already see it's time for Kingdom Hearts 4, but they also announced a Dragon Quest, like, remake, remaster. They, of course, have a Final Fantasy IX remake in the works, although that might be later, so could be anything. Supermassive Games, that's very likely going to be the... Here, if we go to their website, they are actually doing Little Nightmares 3. And we already know that there was a release date leaked for that. September 15th. Like, that's a perfect Summer Game Fest announcement, having their trailer and a release date. And yeah, Bandai Namco is publishing that, so they are here, of course, too. So that might just be their thing. Techland, well, yeah, they already, with the Dying Light account, were like, hey, they actually recently had community play the Beast game. So, yeah, there will probably be an embargo after Summer Game Fest where the information here gets dropped, but also, of course, where we see a new trailer, hopefully a release date, because right now it's still set for summer. Xbox is here too. We of course know they have their big show on Sunday, so a few days after the Summer Game Fest event. But yeah, they will likely show something at Jeff's show too. Maybe a new PS5 port for Starfield. Last year or at Gamescom, they announced like Indiana Jones coming to PS5. So I could see something like that. Like, you would argue that announcing a Xbox game coming to PlayStation is better at a show for all games instead of their Xbox showcase, right? Now, Level Infinite is here too. And if we go to their website, we can see what type of games they have. So again, anything is possible. Like Dune, of course, is launching in June. So it could just be that. Let's look at all the games they have. Exoborn, like another extraction shooter, could totally be that. But there's also a small possibility that it is the Assassin's Creed mobile game that they are publishing. Like, Ubisoft just gave them the license. They got a ton of money for that. And yeah, they, like, at Gamescom, for example, Assassin's Creed Jade was not at the Ubisoft booth, but at the Level Infinite Tencent booth. So, I mean, I don't think it will happen, but it on paper could. But like I said, they have a ton of other games, so it could totally be Dune Awakening, Honor of Kings. Like, they have a ton of possibilities, so it could really be anything. They do note Assassin's Creed Jade here, though, so that makes me hopeful that they've not forgotten about the game. But yeah, as you can see, the final real thing about it has been almost 2 years ago. And yes, we see IO Interactive, and I think that is very interesting, because if we go to their website, there are 2 potential games. You got Project Fantasy. They are doing like a fantasy RPG type game as well, but of course, Project 007 as well. They recently announced that the game is coming to Switch too. So, yeah, it is still alive. They're working on it. Them being at Summer Game Fest, I think, kind of means that we will likely see that game. Project Fantasy still seemed a bit further out. And it's, of course, the Hitman makers that are doing a third-person Bond game. And seeing that, even though it's a teaser trailer with like 2026 at the end, I don't expect it to launch this year. But yeah, that should be very, very cool. And Amazon Games was there too, and they got a ton of games in development. But last year they were there too, and we were speculating the same thing, but then it turned out to be New World Eternum. Maybe it's like an update for any of these games. But they also have some other things. Maverick, an upcoming narrative-driven open-world racing game. Tomb Raider, of course. Crystal Dynamics is making it, but they are publishing it. So, yeah, it could be that we finally see the Tomb Raider game. And they also have, like, an open-world, beautiful MMO for Lord of the Rings. But that seems further out. I would love it for it to be Tomb Raider. Because Crystal Dynamics, their last game was Avengers 2020. So, feels like it is, like, time. Like, that launched around Ghost of Tsushima. We are now getting Ghost of Yotei, too. So, you would hope that they are pretty far along with this new Tomb Raider game. Keegan Cock also has a nice rundown on the Reddit for leaks. If we look here, we see Bioshock. Of course, we had a rumor recently that a new Bioshock thing would be announced, but it could also be a remake of the first game. Would be a Summer Game Fest announcement. Could, of course, also be at Gamescom. Sonic Racing, Sega was, of course, there. Again, the Deadpool VR game. That would likely be for MetaQuest. Project 007, the IO Interactive thing. Here, Little Nightmares, Supermassive, Lies of P, the DLC, the Tomb Raider, Wolf Among Us 2. Sure, yeah, 2K had a new trademark, Small Axe. Again, Capcom is gonna be there, but yeah, it could just be for Street Fighter. Persona 4 Remake got a lot of, like, talk recently. Of course, Sega is there, so it could happen, but we will see. Yeah, that's another one, of course. Embark was on the list too. It could totally be for the finals, but I think they want to promote Arc Raiders. And there's a countdown like that kind of goes to Summer Game Fest. So I'm expecting something Arc Raiders related, a release date after the recent test would of course be great. Dying Light the Beast release date, I think that makes a lot of sense too. Death Stranding 2, again, also makes a lot of sense. And I'm not sure what Mina the Howler is. Okay, this Mina the Howler, it's the new game from Yacht Club. So from Shovel Knight. Looks more like Zelda this time. I mean, they are on the list too, so high chance that this will show up as well. Of course, let me know what you hope to see. If there are more updates as we approach Summer Game Fest, I'll of course let you know here. And on the main channel, we will be live reacting to the event as well. So I hope to see you there. And yeah, subscribe. I will speak to you soon. Goodbye.